This is the bend in the river in Tibet, which is also known as the Great Bend. The Yarlung Tsangpo River makes a spectacular U-turn, changing its course and carrying water towards India and Bangladesh, where this river is known as the Brahmaputra. China doesn't care what its name is in India. What matters to China is this U-turn, which has been the focus of their attention for many years. This is no ordinary U-turn. In the coming years, it could even spark new conflicts in this region. This section of the Yarlung Tsangpo River is nestled among the towering peaks of the Himalayas, also known as the Yarlung Tsangpo Grand Canyon. This valley stretches for 505 kilometers, which is 50 kilometers longer and 3 times deeper than the Grand Canyon in Arizona. A canyon is essentially a valley through which water flows. Taking advantage of this valley, China has decided to build the world's most powerful dam at this very location, which is one of the most remote places on Earth. China has had its eye on this U-turn for the past 20 years, and the key feature here is the slope. At this spot, the river flows along with a mountain 7,000 meters high, making a U-turn and returning on the other side of the mountain. The interesting part is that right at this location, the height of the river is 2,870 meters. But after making the U-turn, the height of the river drops to just 870 meters. This creates a slope of about 2,000 meters, meaning the river that was flowing at 2,870 meters on the western side of the mountain drops 2,000 meters after covering just a short distance. Chinese experts have proposed several projects to build a dam here, one of which involves drilling a tunnel through the 7,000-meter-high mountain to create a hydroelectric power station. Since the river on the west side of the mountain flows at 2,970 meters, if its path is blocked here and a tunnel is drilled through the mountain to divert the river's water to the east side, this project could generate an estimated 60 gigawatts of electricity easily. This is 3 times more than the electricity generated by the world's largest Three Gorges dam. This project has been named the Motuo Hydropower Station, with a tunnel length of around 40 to 50 kilometers, where multiple turbines can be installed. Unlike conventional dams where water is stored, this location requires less effort to build a dam because the 2 sides are already surrounded by high mountains, which will serve as natural walls for the dam. At this location, a wall can be constructed to hold back the water. If turbines are installed on this wall and water is released on the other side, it would drop just 200 meters, generating less force and, ultimately, less electricity. Therefore, a tunnel 40 or 50 kilometers long will be drilled near the wall to direct the water to this location 2,000 meters below. Just imagine. The wall of the Three Gorges Dam is 180 meters high and is currently the world's largest electricity-generating dam, but here the water would drop 2,000 meters. However, while there are benefits, there are also numerous risks. Experts believe that China may face significant challenges in building this project. First of all, this location is in a remote part of Tibet where there is no proper road network yet. How will the machinery be transported to build this dam? While transporting cranes may not be a big issue, transporting a 6,000-ton, 150-meter-long tunnel boring machine through these high mountains could be a very difficult task for engineers. It's worth noting that the tunnel to be bored here will be as large as the one that was bored to connect France and the UK, known as the Channel Tunnel. It took 6 years and cost over £6 billion to build, back in 1988. According to today's estimates, if China builds the world's largest hydropower station here, the tunneling alone could cost $30 to $40 billion. Yes, 3 to 4 trillion rupees. And that doesn't even include the cost of turbines. Since thousands of cubic meters of water will flow through this tunnel, the tunnel walls will need to be reinforced with concrete and steel molds. All of this assumes that everything goes according to plan, but if you didn't know, let me tell you that this location lies right on top of a fault line where the Indian Plate and the Eurasian Plate meet. This is the epicenter of some of the most dangerous earthquakes in the world. In 1950, just 200 kilometers from here, in the Indian state of Assam, there was an earthquake with a magnitude of 8.5. Since 1901, over 4,000 earthquakes have been recorded throughout the Himalayas. Experts believe that dams taller than 100 meters that are located on a fault line can easily be affected by an earthquake with a magnitude of 6 or higher. In addition to this, the area where the Motuo Hydropower Station is proposed is also prone to deadly landslides. In 2021, a landslide in this area blocked a part of the Yarlung Tsangpo River, forcing the water to change its course. Landslides in this area have also triggered flash floods in the Indian Himalayas, causing loss of life and damaging 2 hydropower stations. Along with all these issues, China will also have to face India if it wants to build the world's largest hydropower station here. As you can see, the section of the Yarlung Tsangpo River that flows downstream of the dam enters the Indian state of Arunachal Pradesh, a state that China claims as its own. This territorial dispute has led to several clashes between Indian and Chinese forces, with the most recent one occurring in 2020 in the Galwan Valley, resulting in the death of a soldier. The point is that the situation in this region is already tense, and building the world's largest dam just 50 kilometers from the disputed border is fraught with danger. Both India and China are nuclear powers, and if China builds a dam here, it could gain full control over the water flowing into India and Bangladesh, which China could use as a weapon. In conclusion, the Motuo Hydropower Station is not only a threat to the environment but could also spark new conflicts in the region. So, why is this project so important to China? Looking at it from a population perspective, China is the second largest country in the world, but its electricity consumption is enormous, mainly due to the factories that drive China's growing economy, which China cannot afford to compromise on. To meet its electricity demands, China has built more than 98,000 hydropower dams across the country. But despite this, 70% of China's electricity still comes from fossil fuels. Thrice, China's vision is to control carbon emissions by 2060 because, as you all know, the time is not far off when the world will run out of fossil fuels. If China does not reduce its dependence on fossil fuels by 2060, it could lose its status. The Motuo Hydropower Station, which will generate 60 gigawatts of electricity, is just a drop in the ocean compared to China's 7.8 million gigawatt consumption. Experts believe that if China wants to reduce its dependence on fossil fuels, it must work on other green energy sources alongside dams in order to meet its demands. I hope you will like and share this video. Thank you so much for your loving comments. See you!